What's the payoff? With all the investment in sort of time and effort into social media, of course, a lot of brands and businesses, companies and so on are looking at their return on spend or return on investment. What would you say to those companies? How can they measure it and monitor it, and where does it come from? It's a gnarly topic that gets raised all the time. I'm sure you go to conferences like I do, and you basically get asked this all the time by they're not even cynics, the people that ask you as well. They're very sensible people. So what would you say to someone that says, prove to me that social media actually has a return?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question, and one we must not be afraid to be confronted with, especially as someone advocating social media, working in marketing or whatever, because people will question why we're hiring a community manager, why we're spending time training people up using social media. Maybe that will distract them from doing the job or whatever. I heard someone else say that another abbreviation, another way of explaining ROI would be return on ignorance. So looking at ROI is critical. How we can't justify continued investment unless we have our backs covered in that sense. And I think a good analogy would be looking back in the days when we were buying ads in printed newspaper or TV ads. Even there's some science to whether or not that's been effective or not. It's still a bit of a guess. Well, the good news with advertising in the digital space is that you don't have to guess on what the return is going to be. And you don't have to guess what the ROI is going to be with social media, because you can track the customer's journeys. Using free tools like Google Analytics, you can see where traffic is coming from. You can put tracking pixels on your checkout pages or whatever it might be to confirm where this person has been prior to visiting your page. And you can see the impact, the direct correlation between traffic on your Facebook page, comments and engagements, and links to your website from bloggers or whatever. So never before has it been easier to track return on investment than today, especially in social, especially in digital. And there are lots of tools available out there. So what I say is that, pick a tool, do some Googling in terms of ROIs or KPIs others are using and the effect they've seen with that. Apply that to your business and see what you're able to track, see what seems to make the most sense for you to use. Because in the end of the day, as CEOs and other senior executives become more aware of the importance of a social presence and being excellent in that sort of space, they will be asking these hard questions. What's the return on investment? More tomorrow than they have ever thought about doing in the past. So all we can do is being proactive about it, seeing what metrics works for us, and start creating a spreadsheet or some sort of report where we can show the relative effort to the return it's creating.